This is really, really important that I feel like, because there's a book called the EMyth, and you sit down and they talk about how the guy comes in, gets a haircut, and the customer loves it. He's like, oh man, he gave me a massage at the end, he shaved my head at the end, all that stuff. And every week, or every time he came in for the haircut, it was the same guy, and he knew exactly what to expect. But then what happened is he hired an employee, and the employee came in and cut that same guy's hair, and it was completely different. He did the massage first, he did some other things, and it was just not a good experience for the customer. So what we want is the same process, the same exact way, no matter what team crew is on there. And so we have a diagram for each piece of equipment when we're mowing of like where to start, how to start, and where you should focus first. And there, like, all of this is methodically thought through of like the fastest, most efficient way, because we pay based on performance, and the crews basically get a commission base. So we want you guys to make more money, and it will make us more money. We're on the same team. Yeah, is kind of our mindset.
And it sets a tone of organization and training right from the start. Like if I were to be hiring on here, my first impression would be that these guys are very well organized. Both the shop, but this kind of information, but you guys reinforcing it and continually, standing in front of this board is one of the keys. And this information is only as good as somebody using it, and that comes from the leadership. That's inspired by leadership. So really cool, really impressive.
Thank you.
And I like your rainy day checklist. I'm going to adopt one of my own.
All right, so we're at Military Lawn Cuts facility in Pilot Point. Is that the city? Yeah.
Yes, Southern Pilot Point.
With Will. Will, do you mind introducing yourself real quick?
Hey guys, Will Kelly, my wife and I behind me own Military Lawn Cuts, and we've been in business since 2019. We just started our second location this year. We built the first one up to about 630,000, and we're just getting the second one off the ground. So I'm super passionate about business and helping other people. So hopefully you guys find value in this stuff.
Undoubtedly. So if I remember correctly, we met in Louisville in September?
Yeah, I think
it was September,
October.
Maybe it was October. I think at that time you were telling me a little bit about your story and how long you guys ran your business out of your house, and then you guys just moved over here. So talk about that process, what that looked like.
Yeah, so we live in a HOA community in Providence Village, Texas, and we live on a corner, gratefully, so that way we could have more parking on the side. But yeah, we basically, the first year, it was just me, myself, and I I started off with a Pontiac Grand Prix, putting the mower in the back seat, and I still remember spilling gasoline in the back seat and just like inhaling that like all weekend after I was done with the mows, But we started to grow a little bit. We bought a truck that we actually just sold, our first truck. We retired it. And the first year we did about 20,000 in sales. The second year we did about 125,000 in sales, hired 2 like part-time people. And then the third year is when it really started to take off. We got up to about like 3 or 4 trucks. And it just started growing. And we literally built up to about a $500,000 business inside of our HOA like garage. I still remember literally about 9 or 10 of us in our home garage. The other side was filled with mowers, like doing a team meeting on Monday. And I'd have the whiteboard out there and everything, going through all that stuff. Yeah. So it's just really humbling to see kind of like where we came from. And the HOA was super supportive of us too. They never really got mad at us. I literally remember having like 3 logo trucks on the side of our corner house and 1 in the driveway. So, and nobody said anything. They all, I don't know if it was
That's
because
wild to me, dude. Seriously.
Yeah. And in fact, like they would come and be like, hey, do you guys have business cards? We'll hand them out for you. And we're like, absolutely. And so I don't know, maybe it was because we were bettering the community and upkeeping it and keeping it clean. So
yeah, I certainly think the Lord's hand was in that one and that whole process and journey for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what time frame did you guys move into this space?
So we purchased this last year, February, I believe.
Okay.
So we're coming up on about a year.
Yeah.
Here.
So how big is the property, and like what was here currently? What did you guys add on to it? How is this being used? General stuff.
So this sits on 2.5 acres. It's got like fence all around it, and there's a couple compartments back there for like horses and things like that, which was kind of nice because we were renting it out to some horse people.
Nice.
For $400 a month, which helps for mortgage. This shop was, or little storage area was here. None of the gravel was here. So we had gravel poured, and then we also closed. This was an open shed, and we closed off the fourth side, so that way we could lock it up and everything.
Gotcha. Okay. And so do all of your techs and team members come here to grab trucks, go out, do the work, come back, and leave the trucks here? Is that how that operates?
Absolutely, yes. So all of them park here, and then our trucks will park over there for the day.
Yeah, gotcha. So let's walk over here and maybe share a little bit more about how this shed is being used. You said it was open. You guys ended up closing it off.
Yeah, so this was just like a horse kind of shed area or small barn. And so on this side, it was just completely open. And so we just had actually the neighbor down the street actually like is a welder and like builds this kind of stuff.
Oh, nice.
So he just put this sheet metal up, and then we closed everything off and everything. So.
Yeah. What do you mind sharing inside?
Yeah, sure. We can go
Is
inside.
it a secret?
No,
Hopefully
it's not. So
Hello.
So this is the mowing and landscaping shed. It did not have electricity when we moved in, so we had a trench built and the electricity run to this shed and the back shed. So this side over here, we store kind of extra like fertilizers, backpacks, chemicals. That's kind of like the chemical side, and extra hand tools. And then over here, we have all the mowers kind of go over underneath their cubbies and equipment on top. And then this is all extra towels, trimmer line, anything that they need for their tool bags and stuff like that.
This is one thing I want to mention. Well, you were in the military.
I was.
Share a little bit about your history with that.
So I served in the Army for almost 6 years, from 2012 to 2018. I was a paratrooper, so I jumped out of airplanes and did all that cool stuff. So I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, deployed to Baghdad, Iraq. I was there for 10 months, so did that whole thing, traveled around the world and stuff like that. Went to South Korea, Europe, and things. Met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I just, it was a great experience. Met a lot of great people.
Yeah.
But, I was actually an IT specialist, so that was my job. So worked on a lot of like help desk computers and technology stuff.
Well, it's really clear as soon as you walk in here that it seems like the time and experience in the military and how you organize and the discipline. Like, yeah, I was really trying to get over here to this tool checklist and organization. Dude, share a little bit more about what the purpose of this is, how it gets used, and whatnot.
Okay, so this is really, really good. Anytime we take somebody through orientation. So when we do the walkthrough of the property, we show them this. So this is, anytime we hire somebody, we get asked the same 10 questions. Hey, what do I do if it's a locked gate? What do I do for open pet? What do I do if there's damage done? What if I do if it's overgrown? Literally the 5 or 10 questions, I put it right here. And I say, take a picture of it before you call me, check the checklist.
Yeah.
Obviously the tool checklist, so whether you're mowing, lawn applications, bush or leaf cleanup, it's all right there. They can check it. And then what does the morning routine look like, and what does the end of day routine look like? Just so again we have somewhat of a blueprint. They can again take a picture. Shop and rainy day checklist is what we reference when it's pouring outside, and we come in here and do all those extra stuff. And then we also have a tool bag checklist. So we typically will go through tool bags once a month and restock. But we also tell them, hey guys, it's your responsibility if you need extra bags to grab them. And so they're over there. Just make sure you got your tools. Now this is really, really important that I feel like, because there's a book called the EMyth, and you sit down and they talk about how the guy comes in, gets a haircut, and the customer loves it. He's like, oh man, he gave me a massage at the end, he shaved my head at the end, all that stuff. And every week, or every time he came in for the haircut, it was the same guy, and he knew exactly what to expect. But then what happened is he hired an employee, and the employee came in and cut that same guy's hair, and it was completely different. He did the massage first, he did some other things, and it was just not a good experience for the customer. So what we want is the same process, the same exact way, no matter what team crew is on there. And so we have a diagram for each piece of equipment when we're mowing of like where to start, how to start, and where you should focus first. So if somebody pulls up with a mower, they should not be going to the backyard to cut first. They should be starting right there and then do opposite of gate and then working their way back there. And like all of this is methodically thought through of like the fastest, most efficient way, because we pay based on performance and the crews basically get a commission base. So we want you guys to make more money and it'll make us more money. We're on the same team.
Yeah.
Is kind of our mindset.
It's one thing to say like, to implement pay for performance, like we want you to equip you to be successful so that you can make more money, but actually like laying out the process, the procedure is where I think you really start to actually equip people to execute on being successful in that way. This is awesome. So I am curious, when someone brand new comes in and you're walking through the onboarding process and you're walking through each of these checklists and these the order of how to complete a service, how often do they know it but don't apply it? And how often are you retraining them? Does it happen often, or does this process actually, when it's implemented, do a really good job?
So that's a great question. In the beginning days, when we were still kind of figuring things out and we weren't as confident in the systems and all that stuff, there were some gray, right? Half of the teams were doing it and half weren't. Now we have really like had our teams like fully believe in the systems and the processes now. So really all of our team members are on it. We make sure that our trainers are following this process, so when they go out, they're training it the right way. That's very, very important because, again, what we have found after the last 4 to 5 years, this is the fastest way to mow, weedy, edge, and mow a lawn. So if we can just all follow this, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Did you have this from day one, or was this something that you saw a need for over time and then implemented?
I saw a need for it, so I was out there doing it a lot, and then I'm like, okay, how do I train somebody? And then like, if I had to like explain this to somebody, it's just kind of a lot of like how to start, where to start. If I can just show them a diagram on like when you're weed eating, you should like as long as you're a righty, you should always be going clockwise. Well, what does that look like, right? You go this way. Like when you enter the gate into the backyard, you don't go to the right, you go to the left, you know, and there's like a methodical way to train that. Now, if they're lefty, obviously it'd be opposite, but I saw so many times in the backyard, like they would be weed eating, like the perimeter, and then get done and then look back and be like, oh, I got to go back and hit the tree.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, when you're coming up on it and there's a tree on your right corner, you need to break off your perimeter pass, hit that real quick, and then get right back on. And that is like the fastest, you know.
Yeah. Do you have like this whole thing in a binder in every truck?
We don't. So what we found is this is a nice centrally located area. So again, when we do orientation, I'm like, take a picture of this stuff. You will need to reference it. And so before we ever even, like so many companies will just hire somebody, especially like when they're really busy, and just throw them in the truck and be like, okay, we need your help, go. Before they even get out there, it's like, they understand which direction they should be going on their pieces of equipment before they start even getting trained. And then when we bring them out to their trainer, they watch, I don't care how much experience they have, just watch them do at least one lawn the right way. And you're gonna see, just like we talked about on that diagram, you see how he's starting here up at the front and not walking straight to the back. Like all that extra walking is wasting time. And so.
Yeah, I just spoke at the Jobber Summit. It's pre-recorded, but one of the things they asked me to speak on was training. And one of the first steps, in my opinion, to be develop an efficient, effective training program is, one, you have to understand from the very beginning what is winning, defining what is winning for this role, what are your objectives, and that gives you a starting point on creating actionable information to then deploy to them so they can, as long as it's accessible, they're equipped to actually go and do the job. But so we'll get to it in a minute, but like you have what is winning in your shop and it's posted up and it's very clear. You have actionable information right here, and by take a picture, it's accessible to them at any time. And so this to me is like how it's organized, how it's being implemented is really incredible. And then the other piece of it too, Like you have the theory of it. Now let's go out practically. Let me show you do it, and now you need to get out and actually do it. And then the trainer is there to coach and guide on, you know, whether they did or did not do it correctly. So man, y'all's process is killer.
Yeah, and then like when we do train, there's 3 steps to it. So basically, I do, you watch. You're gonna watch what right looks like. I don't care if you have a little bit of experience or a ton of experience. The second one is you're gonna do, and I'm gonna be right behind you to be like, hold on, let's stop. I'm gonna coach you up. What happened? What I just saw. Okay, let's pick back up. And it's very hands-on for maybe, you know, the first few minutes or whatever. And then the third step is once you feel confident in their ability to not cause damage or like mess the lawn up. All right, now you're gonna do, I'm not gonna supervise, but I'm gonna come back and check.
Right.
And then once that's checked, they're good. They're good to go.
Trust but verify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, love it.
That's good.
Okay, this is awesome. Jeremy, I'm curious, do you have any thoughts on how they've organized this? It makes me feel like my house is a complete wreck.
Well, I'm going back to this. We did something, and this was probably 10 years ago, but when I was with Valley Crest, they rolled out it was a lean program based on, they'd hired a consultant from Toyota. It was one of those that if you got to walk 6 feet over here to get the part, then you're, you know, to make movement efficient. These are on large commercial properties, and what I'm impressed with here is one, that it's centrally located, and it sets a tone of organization and training right from the start. Like you know, if I were to be hiring on here, my first impression would be that these guys are very well organized. Both the shop, but this kind of information. But you guys reinforcing it and continually, you know, standing in front of this board is one of the keys. We had a lot of account managers at Valley Crest that did a lot of work trying to route and sequence a 3-man crew on a large property. Like, well, the edger guy's going to get ahead over here, and then you're going to stick your gas over here, and you'll run out of gas by that point. But those 3-ring binders, in as many cases as not, ended up underneath somebody's seat in their truck. Right. And this information is only as good as somebody using it, and that comes from the leadership. You know, that's inspired by leadership. So really cool, really impressive.
Thank you.
And I like your rainy day checklist. I may
I was
adopt
say,
one of my own.
I was going to say, why don't you go ahead and start taking some pictures, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. Feel free. You guys could take pictures. And
Well, I like too, and one of the main things that I can see the benefit of is we notice, like with our FERT applications, that certain techs never miss a step, and it's because they repeat the same process over and over and over and over and over again. And when you have something that's that well mapped out, it's very difficult to miss the edging on the back fence when you've got a process in place. It's difficult to miss something when you're doing it, or, you know, when you're organized about it. So really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's move on. So you got your trucks here.
So we had 7. We just had 7. We sold the main, the retired. We retired the first one.
That's sad.
It is.
It's
a little
sad. I think I'd keep mine forever.
Yeah.
It's in his garage.
Yeah. Well, so I bought it for $4,000 and we just sold it for $3,000. So
Hey, that's not too
bad.
bad.
we got its work out of it, you know, for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. So how much would you say each truck produces in revenue a year?
I would say, so you can get up to about 175,000 per truck if you fully max it out every day with 2 guys in the truck. I'd say conservatively like 150.
Yeah.
125, 150 is good, you know, just for that, you know, buffer room from our room for error.
Sure. Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's killer. So, I mean, carrying over from your organization in your shop, it looks like your trucks follow that same process. Like everything has a place, it has a system of where it goes and how it's used. Talk to us about, I mean, would you mind like basically doing a truck tour?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Pick your best one.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I say that they should be all be the same, right?
Yeah,
Right, Will?
They should. Okay, let's do number 6 here. Okay.
By the way, really quickly, talk us through your logo. I am very curious to hear that.
Okay, so this was Larissa's brilliant idea. And
Larissa's your wife.
Larissa is my wife, yeah. So she could probably explain the story a little better than I can. But obviously served in the military for 6 years. Texas is a very veteran-friendly state, and a lot of supporters support our veterans because they put their lives on the line every day, you know, in the front line. So I was in the Army, and we didn't want to kind of design it all the way down to just Army, because there's Navy, there's Coast Guard, there's, you know, Marines, all that other stuff. So she's like, well, how do we incorporate military so it catches all branches? And so she thought of military, and then she started thinking like, so if anybody who's ever served has gone to their first day at boot camp, everybody gets a buzz cut. Everybody. And so we were like, well, what if we did military lawn cuts with like a mower going over his head and like getting a buzz cut and getting that, you know, high and tight, clean cut. And so that's, you know, where the brilliant idea of military lawn cuts was born. And with God's inspiration, gave it to Larissa. We made it come to life. We hired a designer and they put it together, and it was born. So
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
It's genuinely, it's very unique, and it tells a story, and I love it. I think it's great. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting at a stop sign or stoplight and I look in the rearview mirror and people are like taking pictures of, and like laughing and like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's a guy getting his buzz cut with a mower. So
Love it. All right, the truck.
yes. So we use trailer racks on our systems. The reason we like it is because we can lock them. So the blower and the weed eater, and then we have the hand tools and everything. We also have the trimmer rack. So these are all locked. We do, you know, leave them overnight when we're running 5 days a week. Just saves with load and unload time. And to be honest, we really haven't found that weather affects them that much. Obviously, every like 3 or 4 years, you are going to need new ones anyway. But and then we use a welder up in Pilot Point called J&M Construction. He's phenomenal. Puts a dovetail ramp on it, and the guys like the split ramps because we do all 21-inch push mowers. So if you look inside of the bed here, it's a little dirty, but each truck has a boot. So what we found was we had to strap our mowers in, and they were moving around a lot and they were breaking. And so this is super easy. They literally just pop the wheels up, drop it in there, and it doesn't move at all, and it's secure and it's good to go. So we have those put on, and we have one on each side. Each one has a gas can for them.
Is that pre-manufactured, or did you design that?
So there is something on Amazon. I think it's called like the Jungle Boot. We ordered it. It's kind of cheap, and it got bent after like a week of our employees like ramming it into it. So the welder actually fabricated it, put like an 1/8 inch of steel on it, and they ram it in and it doesn't move.
So if you want to get one, contact Military Lawn Cuts. How much are they going for?
We thought about it. We're like, man, maybe we should create our own thing, but I don't know. We're just, you know.
Well, if you don't, I will. So you better hurry up.
Yeah. So those definitely are good. And then again, like, you know, we got the blower here. We really only use like 3 different type of tools. So the garden halo hoe, like a shovel, a leaf rake, and then like a metal rake. So it's perfect. There's like six slots on it. Some of them have this, some of them don't. Sometimes I can just, you know, throw their tools back here or extra bags. So for each truck, so obviously we have business cards in there and stuff. Every single truck has a black binder. So the binder has the gas card in it, which obviously you need a pin to like use it and stuff like that, to put the odometer in and everything. The receipts go in here. So when they purchase stuff like mulch, we also have sorry we missed you signs. So whether the guy's got to go back for a complaint or something, they try to ring the doorbell to communicate to the customer. If they miss them, they can just leave a door hanger, just say, hey, we were here to fix whatever it was. And all the binders go on the right, by the right thigh in every truck. So I am very detailed on this, because if I get into a truck and it's not there, I will say, hey, it needs to go here, because I have found that it ends up under the seat, in the back, all that stuff. So you'll see in every single truck, it's by the right thigh. And then we have a tool bag back here. I've got one inside I can maybe show you, but it has all the tools, jumper cables, irrigation caps, all the stuff. Sprinkler heads.
Do you guys do like truck inspections on like a weekly, monthly, or something like that?
Not intentionally. We will walk through, make sure things are locked at the end of the day. We will, once in a while, if I got to get in a truck and drive somewhere, if I notice that it's kind of getting out of hand, I'll we'll write them up a slip or something. But we don't do it intentionally like every week per se.
Yeah. I feel like that'd totally go inside of the branding to do a random inspection.
Yeah.
Drill sergeant style.
Yeah, once in a blue moon, we will go through them all, and then we'll make it very clear.
Yeah,
You know? But,
that's awesome. I love it.
yeah.
All right, so what do we got back here?
Yeah, so this is our burn pile. So what's nice living out here, okay, so this is a true story. When I was looking for a property, the man I called was EJ, and I had never talked to him. And I was like, hey, we live in an HOA community. I'm looking for a shop. What do you recommend? Like, obviously with Chorby, they have a house that's out in the county. And that's what he told me. He's like, you need to find a house that's out in the county. There's no restrictions. You can build, you can do whatever you want on it. You can burn, and you can dump, and you can do all that stuff. And so he helped me get here. And I remember calling him after the fact, and I was like, hey, EJ, I followed your advice. I did what you said. We bought this property. We can burn on it. So thank you, EJ. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, we got the burn pit here. And then the back shed, I don't know if you guys want to go back there or not, but it just basically has a couple like supplies. That's where stuff goes like that we don't use. So this stuff we use like basically every month.
Right.
That stuff, if it doesn't get used within 3 to 6 months, it goes back there.
Yeah, gotcha. I imagine very well organized, as per usual, right?
Yeah. We have a blade sharpener back there where the guys like sharpen all the blades and stuff too.
Yeah,
So,
gotcha. Awesome.
so this is the shop. Obviously, where we do team meetings with the conference table and everything.
Yeah. So I see a desk over here.
Yes.
What's the purpose of this desk?
So this is the general manager for Aubrey's desk.
Okay.
So the reason why we put it right here is she can see who's coming in and out. Also, we have the truck keys right here for the crews to grab. And so we just want to make her as accessible as possible for the crews. And she'll put up like some positive quotes. We also, again, are very meticulous and detailed on when the guys should be clocking in and when they should not be. So for us, when you grab the keys in the morning, that's when they clock in. When it returns is when they clock out.
So is this a system where you can track digitally times that they're working?
It is.
Like, how does that work? If you could explain in more detail, because I'm clearly not understanding.
So this is just like a keypad to get inside of here for
Yeah.
the keys, but I don't think there's a way that we can pull to see like when they use their code or whatever to clock in and out. They just clock in on their app.
Gotcha.
On an
Okay.
app.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I remember I used to work at Toyota Stadium. I was working on the grounds crew.
Yeah.
And they had a biometric scanner, so you basically it's a thumbprint to clock in and then a thumbprint when you leave.
Wow.
It was legit. It was cool.
That's
Really.
awesome.
Yeah, I love this. Excuses made today easy, but tomorrow hard. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so moving on. What do we got over here?
So this is where Larissa will put any like key information that is either up and coming. If we have like a 3-day weekend coming up or a holiday schedule, she'll go ahead and put this up. So obviously we have a couple of anniversaries for some team members. I will also, it's nice because this is double-sided, we can shift this over, but I'll use this when we do team meetings sometimes if I'm trying to portray a certain thing or need a whiteboard. I like my whiteboard, so.
Right there with you.
Yeah. So over here we have so we follow the yellow slip process from Mike Andy's. It works really well because we use P for P. And
for those that don't understand, what is the yellow slip process?
so basically if a customer calls and complains or there's any type of damage on the property, a yellow slip basically gets filled out. So here's one right here. And basically the crews will get assigned a meeting on their routes to go back to the property. And when they go back, they're not getting paid anymore because they already got paid for that time while they were on the job. And so when they go back, they've got to communicate to the customer, whether it's through ringing the doorbell, talking, fix the problem, and then come back, sign, take ownership of the mistake so that way it doesn't happen again, and then submit it. And then on Monday morning, we hand out all the yellow slips, and whoever got one, not to humiliate them, but to learn what not to do for the whole crews. They read it in front of the team and say what they can do to hopefully not have that happen again.
When did you start implementing this yellow slip process?
I think about like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago.
Did you find it like having a noticeable difference in your culture when you were implementing this and talking about learning from your mistakes?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's very crucial to like P4P in general.
Yeah.
Revolutionized our business. Like we used to pay hourly, and like the whole culture has changed.
Yeah.
I will never pay an employee just hourly ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Ever again. There has to be an incentive for them to work hard, put more effort in, get some of the profits, get some of a bonus, something like ever. I will never just do cut and dry hourly ever again. It changes the culture for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how often are you guys, your team meeting? You said on Mondays, is it weekly?
Yeah, we do it every week on Monday for about 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much stuff we have to go over.
And how many people are in here on a Monday?
In the wintertime, roughly 5 to 6. In the summer, it could be up to like 10 or 11.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I forgot to ask as soon as we got in here, so this structure, was it already here when you guys moved in? Did you guys do anything to it?
Yeah, so this structure was here. The floors needed to be redone for sure, and then we painted, which was all Alyssa's idea and thoughts of like the coloring. So I don't know if you could tell, we did like a tint of green. For military lawn cuts. But yeah, we redid the floors and painted, and we also got new, just cosmetic stuff. Yeah, like fixtures.
Looks great, dude. Loving it.
Thank you.
So this looks familiar. I have one of these.
Yeah,
Talk to me about that.
So Larissa and I obviously spoke at Landscape Summit, which is hosted by Mike Andes and sponsored like by Copilot and all that stuff. So that's actually where we met, which is really cool.
Which is crazy because we live like 25 minutes from each other.
Yeah, it is.
Here, and the Landscape Summit was in Louisville, Kentucky. That's where we first met, but we live like 20 minutes from each other. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you guys spoke on expanding your business and what y'all's journey was like through that. 2-second highlight of that keynote.
We basically spoke on like what we learned starting the second location. It's on YouTube. If you just look at, it's called Will Kelly is the channel. And yeah, you can find it's called What We Learned Starting a Second Location. And it's got a lot of good points in there.
It seriously does. Y'all need to go check it out.
Yeah.
Both of them. They were both on stage together, and I was actually really jealous. I was like all alone up there. Will and Larissa were together. It was cool.
Yep.
So I see a suggestion bank, certificate. Explain like some of the things you got on here and how they impact the business.
Yeah, so we just implemented this recently. It's called a suggestion bank. So basically deposit your innovative, game-changing idea to improve military lawn cuts. If your idea is implemented, you will receive $50. Nice. And so this again creates more buy-in. So during the team meetings, we will actually open up the box and read out what people are suggesting, and we kind of all take a vote on it. Sometime, like if it's something that we know probably is just kind of a waste of money for a piece of equipment or something, we'll kind of like step in and be like, hey, I don't think that's the right idea. But I want them to be bought in and contribute. And, it just helps with the culture instead of us just coming out all the time and being like, hey, we're going to do this. And them not having a say in what changes.
Right.
So,
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Can I write one, and if it gets used, do I get $50?
Yes. Because I'm willing to pay the $50 for it to make us more money and make us more efficient. So, absolutely.
I love it. That's awesome.
So here's the notepad.
I just slight joke, but seriously, I have a couple and I'll write them down in a little bit. Awesome. What's the certificate of excellence?
Okay, so I think this is very important. Number one, to recognize your team in front of people, right? Praise in public, criticize in private. But what this also does is when on day one, when I'm walking somebody through orientation, because before we really even get into like the PowerPoint slides and stuff, we do a shop tour and we show them the vision and where we're going and things like that. I can reference this and say, look, these two individuals got recognized. So Brett, he has worked here for 9 months and he averages 1 complaint a month, which is very impressive. And I mean, when you're talking 10 lawns a day, 5 days a week, that's 50 lawns times 4 weeks in a month. That's 200 properties he's servicing and only getting one complaint.
that's
I
incredible.
want to recognize that. And so right off the bat, when we're walking through, these team members or these new onboarded team members are seeing like, okay, what are we praising people for, right? What does right look like? Same thing with Matt. So Matt did, he worked like a 14-hour day this day, and he did 12 hours worth of work and didn't get a single complaint.
Wow.
on that day. So that goes above and beyond. And he did like literally probably like 23 or 24 properties by himself mowing lawns. Like it was insane. I was like, we need to recognize that.
Yeah.
And so, it just shows like new people what we like to see.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So speaking of, you have what winning looks like up there.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more of that.
So this is really important again for culture and the team. So, obviously the Super Bowl is next week, right? And if there was no scoreboard, how would each team know what the score is and if they're winning or losing and if they need to pick it up or play better, right? So we make it very clear when we're doing interviews here and people are like, hey, how do I get promoted here? How do I, grow here? And so we make it very clear. This is what winning looks like to us, is doing the big three. And there's literally only 3 things that matter to us when you work here. Number 1 is showing up, attendance. Our number 1 core value is reliability. That's why it's number 1. When we wear this flag on our right shoulder, like we represent more than just a company, right? We're military lawn cuts and we're reliable, So just be here on time each day without call-offs, tardies, or leaving your scheduled shift early. Number 2 is quality over quantity. So we don't just want to speed through things. So basically receiving 1 complaint or less each week, you're in the clear. And then the 3rd is basically executing, so production. So completing at least 5 budget hours of work within an 8-hour day is what we require of our team. So really, really making it very clear. And then also down here, what's funny is we were really, really gung-ho about franchising after talking with EJ and Mike and all that stuff. I think we're going to do 10 corporately owned locations first.
Yeah.
So that's why this was on here though. But like, I want them to see like, this isn't just a job. So build a career here. It shows literally exactly what everybody can make at each stage and kind of how long it takes. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. By the way, Jeremy, we're going to be implementing OFT. It is our part of this. So those are core values of Chorby. So I think there's a way to visualize it and put it up in the shop. So we'll be talking about that soon. All right. So the second thing that I noticed is this poster of all the different types of weeds. So we have that at our Chorby's, one of our corporate locations. Mm-hmm. And I used to take pictures of these and put it into a Jeopardy game, and I would play it with our customer service team. So like if they understand what chickweed is and how to combat it with a pre-emergent or post-emergent, it prompts them to how to articulate that to a customer. When a customer sends a picture in of this and says, what is happening, why is this here? It was super fun, but also incredibly challenging.
I like that a lot. That's brilliant.
It was fun for a little while, and then people stopped liking me because it's hard. It's hard to do that. Yeah. So explain this poster board. So
this is a new addition, right? Like we're still kind of actually building out a lot of this stuff. You'll see in the back rooms, there's not a lot of like furniture yet because we're still kind of moving in ish. But basically, we have our core vision right now is to operate 3 fundamental locations. So Aubrey, Salina, and then our next one will be Frisco.
Nice.
Is our target here in the next 24 to 48 months. Our mission is all in to grow, serve, give, and be a blessing. That's our purpose. That's why we exist, is to really develop people, help people, and just be better human beings and be the best version of ourselves that we can do. Obviously, we have our core values. There's 7 of them here. This is just another rainy day checklist. This has the branch manager responsibilities, which is a little outdated, but it basically kind of goes through of what all the operational stuff that kind of need to get done. And then this is running daily P4P report. this can probably get taken down. We need to kind of update some of
I
this.
think this is brilliant, actually, because it coincides with what you have over there about building a career. If someone is a technician starting out brand new, they can see literally what are the responsibilities of those that they want to become, and it starts getting in their mind of showing what does success look like if you want to be that person.
So it helps them understand what that guy's role is.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's
true.
easy as a tech to think that the manager's literally just watching YouTube videos all day at his desk.
Right, right.
All he does is drive around in the air conditioning and drink Dr. Pepper, and for them to be able to see what their role and responsibility is.
Right, and
I think is important.
what those managers are being held accountable to is a really great frame of reference, and I think it builds respect
Yeah.
internally, amongst each other. I think it's really smart.
Yeah.
Love
Or,
that.
and if you have, I mean, depending on the business, if you guys pay hourly, like if somebody's like, hey, I want a raise, it's like, okay, well, what are these tasks are you going to take off of my plate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do it,
Yeah. No, that's
it opens the door for that conversation.
yeah.
So, and then this year we did goals. So I'm huge on encouraging the team and holding them accountable. So we went 2 or 3 goals, one personal, one professional. And we literally wrote them down. And I said, I'm going to hold all you guys accountable every quarter. I'm going to say, where are you guys at on this? And we put them up on the board for everybody to see and hold each other accountable.
Yeah,
So.
that's awesome. Would you share one of your goals?
Yes. So, so one of my goals this year is to work out at least once a week. I do want to hire a part-time editor for the media side.
Yeah.
We want to do about $800K in revenue for the business, and then I think I had one more. Oh yes. So I want to go. It's so easy to watch online church on Sundays and stay in your pajamas and stuff.
Right,
But
yeah.
going community, right? Like people. That's what it's all about. And going in person. So I've got a goal to go at least 12 times this year in person.
Yeah.
Instead of watching online. So.
That's awesome, dude. Love that. If you need a workout buddy, let me know. We're 20 minutes away from each other.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, let's keep on moving. What do you got back here?
Real quick before we go back there.
Yeah.
So this is some new stuff that we implemented for the team. So we have an ice maker, so they don't have to go to the gas station. It's not up yet. It'll get going in summer when it heats up.
Yeah.
We also have water. So this thing's really nice because in the mornings I eat my oatmeal. It heats it up. So they got a microwave as well. What we implemented this year, again, because one of my goals is to make this the best place to work. I literally want to line out the door. People want to come and work with us. That's the goal, right? So
You're on your way, by the way.
thank you. So we have a free snack fund for our team. So those are all energy drinks, more healthier ones. And then we also have a snack fund here. So we try to keep it healthy, but they're eligible to grab up to 3 items a day, each day. And I think the guys really like it. So, and a lot of, when you hire a new team member and they come, they don't have a lot of money. There's just something about giving them a little bit of a breakfast maybe in the morning that they appreciate a lot. So,
Nice.
and then we got more drinks and stuff down there too.
It's a nice perk. EJ?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we take some notes? See the snack cabinet?
Do what?
One
I
of
told you
those-
guys all you. Let's hold on. Put the camera on me, please. Full disclosure for all of those that are here and others. And others, I have specifically said, get a list of what everybody likes from snacks and drinks and stock it. So if it hasn't happened,
Enough said.
I just wanted you to be in the video. That's all.
well,
I know it's not
also-
true.
Didn't
hold
want
on,
to
let me see that.
list they provided.
Will wants to be the best place to work and have a line out the door. The attitude I just gave, where's attitude? Attitude I just gave, it's not there. Attitude probably will not get me there.
And to lean on one of the other.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm about to order in bulk snacks.
going to
Can't wait.
Costco.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So this room probably won't be this year, but this will be where at least two office people will work. So we'll get somewhat of a cubicle thing, and then have 2 office people in here answering phones.
Do you are they working remotely right now?
Yeah, we have a phenomenal office manager. She works from home, and yeah, she's fully remote. So
Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
yeah.
There's a big thing, in my opinion. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It is a huge value add to being in person, whether that's every single day of the week that you're working or just 1 or 2 days a week. Just being in person around each other is a really big deal in terms of camaraderie and productivity. There's a lot that goes into it, but it's not for everyone. Like, obviously, your office manager is killing it from working remotely, but as you expand and grow, personalities are different, how people work is different, and just coming into the office at least a couple times a week is a really good thing in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I like that model. So like getting maybe a couple offices here. We do have her come out once in a while, like once a quarter, to like meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
And like team building events, so that way we're still around, and like have that human interaction.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Love it.
This is the employee bathroom. Nothing too crazy about that.
Hold on. I need to point this out. You have what winning looks like
I do, yeah. So
right across from the toilet. So there's really no way you can't get out of watching
so
it.
when
or
they're
looking
sitting
at
on
it.
the pot, they can do some deep thoughts on how to win here.
It's incredible. I love that.
You get one at Plum.
There you go. Yeah.
What I've learned is like, just like a retail store can really customize the customer experience when they come by colors and signs and lighting and all that stuff, and like really make it perfect. You can also do that for your team. And so the way that you put certain pictures up or like sayings and stuff, like you can really start to get inside of their mind and like start to create what you want. You know?
Brainwash them.
So yeah, in a positive way.
In a positive
good
way.
way.
No, I'm being
So,
funny.
so yeah, this is the media room.
Hello.
We got the big lights on. So this is where I do a lot of like my shooting content for whiteboard sessions, and then we have a little table here for like podcasts. I've done a couple podcasts here.
Yeah,
People have
that's
come
awesome.
up and we've done it in person. So
So we're media people, so we've got to know like what camera do you got, what kind of lights you're using.
yeah, so this is the Sony ZV E10. It's a phenomenal like YouTuber camera. It's very easy to use and I love it. I've got it for Christmas. Larissa's parents actually got that for me.
Nice.
I use the Rode mic, so I've got a transmitter here, and then got the lapel mic down there that's charging. But sometimes I'll use this, like if I'm out doing a vlog, just a little selfie stick.
Right. Yeah.
These lights are new, so Larissa got me them for Christmas, and they're phenomenal because I can literally like it illuminates so much light,
Yeah.
even at night. But yeah, this is kind of the setup, and then this is a nice table. This is where I put all my key points, so that way when I'm talking and stuff
Yeah.
and writing.
What was the last video that you did, and what's your next video?
So I actually have like 4 of them in the queue right now.
Nice.
So every like week we're posting, but I think the last one that I did was we were talking about 3 KPIs that you must focus on in the business that like mean the most. Like there's 1,000 different
For sure.
components you can look at in a business, but there's really 3 that like check the actual pulse of the business. And so
What
that
are
was
they?
one of the videos.
What are they? What are the 3 things?
So obviously to start, you want to make sure to check like how much cash you have in the business, right? But really the 3 biggest KPIs, number 1 is close ratio. So that will tell you a lot about the business, whether it's in like growth mode or it's in or profit mode. I'd have to check my sheet here. Hold on one second.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, you put me on the spot. So the second one, is like labor efficiency, I believe. So like your direct labor out in the field has to be a certain percentage of like production. So basically like when you sit down and look at the P&Ls, looking at how much payroll compared to how much income is when I look at a P&L, that's
big.
the only thing I like. Obviously I look at the bottom line, like did we make money?
Yeah.
But the second thing I do is I say, okay, if we spent $15,000 in wages, I need to divide that with how much we made that month, or like and that will give me a percentage, anything between probably 35 to I'd say max like 50, maybe 55%.
Yeah.
Is like okay. Anything above like 50, I start getting worried.
Sure.
Like the red lights start
yeah.
blinking at me. I'm like, okay, we're spending too much money on labor. What are we doing? You know, and so that was the other one. I can't exactly remember what the third one is when I get put on the spot, but
Just go watch the video.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you gotta do.
Just go watch the video. So
That's awesome. What's the next video you got coming up?
so this one was one of the older videos, but basically it was 3 stages of growth to basically build a 7-figure business and kind of like what that looks like in those transitional periods. So like 0 to like 150, 200 is like that first stage. And then it's like 200 to about 500 is stage 2. And then really 500 to 1 million is like that growth phase. But it basically just breaks that down and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
there's
awesome.
A lot
I
of
love
good
it.
content.
Okay, last question on media stuff. When did you start creating media, and what kind of impact has it had on your business?
So we started last year around, I think, like February, March timeframe. And it has significantly, it's definitely helped the business. I would say the best part about the media is the people that I've met. So I think in the immediate, like short term, like it's not like it makes a ton of money,
Right.
and it's very time consuming. I mean, you know how
yeah.
it is. Like we're just,
yeah.
it's the editing and all that stuff. So I would say what is the most benefit from it was I met a lot of great people through YouTube. I actually met EJ from a podcast he did with Mike Andes. And he was like, yeah, I'm out in McKinney. And I'm like, that's right down the street. I need to reach out to EJ.
Right.
And so that's, I've met a lot of my great friends. I met, you at the conference and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So like, it's the people.
That's one thing I'm speaking at Mike Callahan's Simple Growth, their events in Arizona next week. They asked me to talk about social media, and I'm assuming they're going to think I'm coming in saying like, you have to create social media, you have to spend money on creating it. Honestly, you don't need to. Like, social media is an option, and it doesn't directly make you money today. Like right now, does it directly make you money?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And so you have to decide the bigger picture and the vision of your organization. If you're thinking long term, media does have a play in it, but it doesn't directly make you money. It may not make sense for you to do anything social media related right now. However, if you're thinking about long term, it should be something you should consider. And if so, what do you do? And so one of the things I'm going to talk about is doing a podcast. It's really easy to set up. You don't even have to have these mics. Like, honestly, you set up your phone on a tripod and you've got a good enough setup to be able to produce it. But what it does is it helps you build relationships with other people, and those relationships is a milestone for you to improve your business, because you're getting information and knowledge from other people, and it can undoubtedly make an impact on your business because you're getting perspectives and mindset that you can take away, and it's a deeper connection than just watching a video. Like us having a conversation, I think you pick up more information that's applicable to you than just watching a video. Both are great, but so I'm excited to talk about that. But yeah, you're right. Not everyone needs to have an investment in social media right away.
Yeah, I think to be honest, it's going to take 3 to 5 years to build a solid type of brand where people are starting to come to you. It doesn't happen in super quick. And maybe it does if you go viral or something like that. But majority it takes time, energy, effort, and it's to be honest, I would make way more if it was about the money. I would make way more money starting the 3rd location and putting all my time and energy and effort into that versus doing the media side. But I believe in the connections and I think at the beginning it's people, right? You build those connections, and then after that it might open up more opportunity, right? To maybe go speak and get your name out, be more of a reach and impact. And then after that, it'll be to a part where it's oh, I've seen your videos, and now people are applying to come and work for you because you built this brand and trust with people.
Yeah, love it. Awesome, dude. All right, there's one more room. Is there one more room?
Yeah, one more room.
Okay.
I saw some dumbbells.
Yeah.
Excited.
So again, I apologize. It's a little echoey in here because we're still, getting things situated here.
Yeah.
We actually just got internet set up. We had AT&T. It was real spotty, so we moved Starlink. So now we have Starlink.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's a lot better now. But yeah, this is basically where I sit back here. Got the dual monitors and got my whiteboard section. So obviously with my goal of working out once a week, sometimes in spring rush, you're working 12, 14-hour days, you can't get to the gym, and time is money, so like to have to drive there. But I also don't want to make an excuse that money comes before, or business comes before health, because that's backwards. So we just moved the gym here, and I'll do some curls in between phone calls. You know?
There you go. While you're on the phone. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this is basically it. And so I've got, we're doing a kind of a thing. So this is kind of a funny story, but I'm in the co-pilot group, and I won an iPad from my Andy's.
Nice.
So
awesome.
This is a iPad that he sent me for. Basically, they do a lot of like call flows, or not call flows, workflows.
Yeah.
So basically, everybody like record what your best workflow is on this software and submit it, and whoever gets the most likes can win.
Yeah.
And so the one that I submitted was the 6. So I built and created the 60 days to collections process.
Okay.
And I wanted to basically, we were spending so much time calling like these people that had delinquent invoices. And so it was just a time suck. And I was like, how do I build a system and automation that basically removes all of that? And so what I did was build this process on day 1, 7, 15, 30, and 50 of texting the customer, calling the customer, so our staff doesn't have to do it. And so I built this whole thing, and it sends internal messages too, like if we need to pause their account. So now we're just on the reactive side instead of having to be proactive about it.
Yeah.
But it like has saved us tons of time. And anyways, we won. So
Nice.
we got this. And so basically what we're gonna do actually, starting next week, we're doing a challenge. We're gonna give this away. And so basically what we're gonna do for the next 2 weeks, that whoever leaves like a 5-star review on our page will get put into a drawing.
Yeah.
And can win this.
So
We're about
can
to
I leave
leave.
a 5-star review?
Absolutely. So
I'll do it
anybody,
anyway, but
anybody who leaves a 5-star review, as long as like your name like correlates to that, we'll write it down, and then we're gonna pull a drawing.
yeah. Is that internal only, or are you publishing that on social media?
We're gonna publish it. I don't think I'm gonna do it like on YouTube because.
Too many people.
Yeah, and I think it messes up the algorithm when they like leave a 5-star review if they're in New York. But like everybody locally, so our customers, we're gonna blast the video out and let them know that we're doing this. So our customers, friends, family, neighbors, anybody local. So yeah, you guys, anybody who's watching that's around Texas.
Yeah. So
Put it in.
what's the challenge?
So basically, just if they could leave us a 5-star review on our Google My Business page.
Yeah.
So we have two. We have two actually. So we have Military Lawn Cuts and Landscaping, I believe. It's in Aubrey, Texas. And then we have Military Lawn Cuts of Salina. If you do both, you'll get 2 raffles with your names on it. And then after 10 days, we're gonna shake it all up, and we're gonna pull a name out of the hat, and whoever wins, we're gonna reach out to them, get their address, send it to them, or through local.
Do you guys have Facebook pages?
We do have a Facebook page, and then Yelp as well. I think we're gonna do something internally for our team to hopefully help those. But yeah, I mean that would be awesome too.
Yeah.
But I think we're really sticking to like the Google,
Yeah.
the Google reviews on that. But internally, we're gonna get into the Facebook with the teams.
I think it was Alex from Mosey that said this, but he was talking about how the best gift that you can give an entrepreneur is an honest, like paying full service and an honest review on Google.
Yeah.
That's the best thing in my opinion, and I totally agree with that. So if y'all are watching, please go check them out and get their service and rate it. Get it on Google My Business.
Absolutely, and you could maybe win an iPad. So that would be awesome, and help us out too. So.
Sorry, Torby audience, we don't have an iPad for you.
Well, dude, this was incredible. Thank you so much for taking us around this property and showing us how you guys run your business. Seriously, the organization and the level of communication on what excellence looks like and how you equip people to be excellent in their roles, bar none, some of the best I've seen from the shop tours that we've done. You guys are running an incredible business. So please check out Military Lawn Cuts on YouTube. Or YouTube, it's, what's your channel name?
It's
Kelly?
at the Will Kelly
At
on
the
YouTube.
Will Kelly.
And then on Facebook and Google, go check out Military Lawn Cuts. Will, thanks again. Any parting words?
I would just say whatever you guys are doing, just keep pushing forward. A lot of people say, like, what is the best advice you could give somebody? Is to find somebody that's doing what you're doing and where you want to be, and seek advice from them. So that's why I called EJ and I said, hey, we want to own a shop one day. And it came to fruition because I called the main office. I said, hey, what's EJ's number? Trying to be like I knew him, right? And they were like, yeah, let me give you his email. And so finally I got in touch with him.
Yeah.
But just reach out to somebody who's where you want to be, no matter what aspect of life. And you guys will go long ways.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's a brand new day.